Autobiography Part One. At that time, when the Patriarch arrived at Baolin Monastery, Prefect Way of Shaozhou, along with other officials, visited the mountain to invite him to expound the Dharma for the benefit of the assembly in the lecture hall of Dafan Temple in Guangzhou, known historically as Nanhua. When the Patriarch took his seat, an assembly gathered, including Prefect Wei, about 30 government officials, 30 Confucian scholars, and over 1,000 monks, nuns, Taoists, and lay people. They all paid homage and asked him to teach the essential principles of the Dharma. The Patriarch addressed the assembly. Good friends, the essence of mind, which is the seed of enlightenment, Bodhi, is inherently pure by using this mind alone. One can directly attain Buddhahood through realization. Good friends, let me share my life story and how I came to receive the esoteric teachings of the Shan school. My father, originally from Fanyang, was demoted and exiled to Lingnan, becoming a commoner in Xinzhou, Guangdong. My life was unfortunate because my father passed away when I was young, leaving my widowed mother alone and destitute. We moved to Guangzhou and lived in great hardship and poverty. One day, while selling firewood in the market, a customer ordered some to be delivered to his shop. After getting paid and leaving, I ran into a man reciting a sutra outside. When I heard the words, my mind instantly awakened. I asked him, "What sutra are you reciting?" He said the Diamond Sutra, Vajrachedika. I asked where he came from and why he recited this sutra. He said, "I come from Dongchan Monastery in Huangmei District, Qizhou, where the Fifth Patriarch, Hongren, presides over the teaching with more than 1,000 disciples. I went there to pay homage and heard this sutra. The Patriarch often encourages both monks and lay people to recite the Diamond Sutra, saying that by doing so, they may realize their essence of mind and directly attain Buddhahood. It must have been due to my good karma from past lives that I heard this. A kind man gave me 10 taels of silver to provide for my mother's needs and urged me to go to Huangmei to meet the Fifth Patriarch after arranging for her care. I set out and reached Huangmei in less than 30 days. I paid homage to the Patriarch, who asked, "Where are you from, and what are you seeking?" I said, I'm a commoner from Xinzhou in Lingnan. I came from afar to pay my respects and seek only to become a Buddha, nothing else. The patriarch said, "You're from Lingnan, a southern tribesman. How can you become a Buddha?" I said, "Though people may be from the north or south, the essence of mind's got no such distinction. My tribesman's body's different from yours, venerable patriarch. But what difference is there in our Buddha nature?" He wanted to keep talking, but seeing other disciples nearby, he told me to join the community in their work. I said, "Venerable Patriarch, I humbly submit that wisdom often arises in my mind. By not straying from the essence of mind, one's already a field of merits. What work would you have me do?"
On Autobiography Part Two. "This tribesman's remarkably sharp," he said. "Say no more and go to the stable." I went to the back courtyard, where a lay brother told me to split firewood and pound rice. More than 8 months later, the patriarch saw me and said, "I can tell your understanding's profound, but I hold back from saying more to protect you from those who might harm you. Do you understand?" I said, "Yes. Venerable Patriarch, I understand to avoid attention. I haven't dared approach your hall." One day, the Patriarch gathered all his disciples and said, "The matter of birth and death's of utmost importance. Yet day after day you seek only worldly merits, not liberation from the bitter sea of samsara. If your essence of mind's obscured, what use are such merits? Go, each of you, and seek the wisdom in your own mind. Realize the prajna, the transcendental wisdom of your true nature, and compose a stanza to present to me. Whoever grasps the profound truth will receive the robe and the Dharma, becoming the Sixth Patriarch. Hurry! Don't delay! Thinking it over's useless. One who's realized the essence of mind knows it instantly upon hearing of it, even in the chaos of battle." The disciples, having received this instruction, withdrew and said to one another, "Why should we trouble ourselves to focus our minds and compose a stanza for the Patriarch? Our teacher, Shenxiu, the senior monk, is sure to receive the Patriarchate. If we write carelessly, it'll only waste our effort." Hearing this, they all decided not to write, saying, "From now on, we'll follow Master Shenxiu and rely on his guidance." Meanwhile, Shenxiu thought, "Since I'm their teacher, none of them will submit a stanza. Should I write one and present it to the Patriarch?" If I don't, how'll he know the depth of my understanding? If my intention's to seek the Dharma, it's noble. But if I seek the patriarchate, it's ignoble. Like a worldly mind craving a sacred position. Yet, if I don't submit a stanza, I'll never attain the Dharma. What a dilemma. What a dilemma. In front of the Patriarch's hall were 3 corridors, set to be painted by the court artist Lu Zhen, with scenes from the Lankavatara Sutra and the lineage of the 5 patriarchs for public veneration. After composing his stanza, Shenxiu tried several times to present it. But each time he approached the hall, he was overcome with anxiety, sweating profusely. Over 4 days, he tried 13 times, but couldn't summon the courage to submit it. He then thought, it'd be better to write the stanza on the corridor wall for the Patriarch to see. If he approves, I'll come forward, bow, and say it's mine. If he disapproves, then I've wasted years in this mountain, receiving honor I don't deserve. What progress have I made in the Dharma? That night, at the 3rd watch, around midnight, he secretly took a lamp and wrote his stanza on the south corridor wall to express his spiritual insight.
On Autobiography Part 3, the stanza read, our body's the Bodhi tree, our mind a mirror bright, ceaselessly we wipe 'em clean, and let no dust cling. After writing it, Shenxiu went back to his room unnoticed by others. He thought, if the Patriarch sees my stanza tomorrow and's pleased, it means I'm destined for the Dharma. If he says it's inadequate, it shows my mind's clouded by past karma, unfit for the Dharma. The Patriarch's intentions hard to fathom. In his room, he tossed and turned till dawn, unable to sit or sleep in peace. The Patriarch, though, already knew that Shenxiu hadn't entered the gate of enlightenment and hadn't realized the essence of mind. In the morning, he called Lu Zhen to paint the corridor walls, but when he saw the stanza, he said, there's no need to paint now. I'm sorry for troubling you to come so far. The sutra says, all forms are illusory. Let's leave this stanza here for people to study and recite. By practicing its teaching, they'll avoid falling into unfortunate realms and gain great merit. He had incense lit and told all the disciples to bow to the stanza and recite it to realize their essence of mind. After reciting it, they all exclaimed, well done. At midnight, the Patriarch summoned Shenxiu to the hall and asked, did you write this stanza? Shenxiu answered, yes, Venerable Patriarch, it was I. I don't dare to seek the Patriarch Shady, but I humbly ask if my stanza shows even a trace of wisdom. The Patriarch said, "Your stanza shows you haven't yet realized the essence of mind. You've reached the threshold of enlightenment, but haven't entered it with such an understanding. Supreme enlightenment can't be attained. To achieve supreme enlightenment, one's gotta instantly recognize one's own mind and see its true nature, which neither arises nor ceases. In every moment, one's gotta perceive the essence of mind, unhindered by all phenomena. When the suchness of the mind's realized, all's true. The mind remains in a state of thusness which is absolute truth. Such the essence of mind, the essence of supreme enlightenment. Go back and reflect for a day or two, then compose another stanza. If it shows you've entered the gate of enlightenment, I'll pass the robe and the Dharma to you." Shenxiu bowed and left. For several days he tried to compose another stanza but couldn't, his mind disturbed like in a dream, finding no peace in sitting or walking. 2 days later, a young boy passed by the rice-pounding room, loudly reciting Shenxiu's stanza. When I heard it, I instantly knew its author hadn't realized the essence of mind. Though I'd never been formally taught, I already understood the principle. I asked the boy, "What stanza's this?" He said, "You tribesmen, don't you know? The Patriarch said that the matter of birth and death's serious and told his disciples to write a stanza. The one who realizes the profound truth will receive the robe and Dharma and become the Sixth Patriarch." Elder Shenxiu wrote this formless stanza on the south corridor wall, and the Patriarch told us to recite it, saying that practicing its teaching would bring great merit and save us from unfortunate realms.
On Autobiography Part Four, I said to the boy, "Good sir, I've been pounding rice here over 8 months and never been to the hall. Please guide me to the stanza so I can bow to it." The boy led me to the stanza, and I said, "I'm illiterate. Please read it to me." A petty officer from Guangzhou, named Zhang Young, was present and read it aloud. After hearing it, I said, "I've also got a stanza, please write it down for me." He said, "How amazing that you two can compose a stanza." I said to him, "To seek supreme enlightenment, don't belittle beginners. The lowliest may hold the sharpest wisdom, while the highest may lack insight To slight others is a grave mistake. He said, recite your stanza, and I'll write it for you. If you attain the Dharma, please free me first. And don't forget this promise. My stanza read, there's no Bodhi tree, nor is there a mirror stand, since nothing exists inherently. Where can dust cling? When it was written, the assembly was astonished and filled with admiration, saying to one another, how wondrous! We mustn't judge by appearances. How could we have made a bodhisattva incarnate labor for us all this time? Seeing their amazement, the Patriarch, fearing I might be harmed, erased the stanza with his shoe and said, this too hasn't realized the essence of mind. The assembly accepted his judgment. The next day, the Patriarch came secretly to the rice-pounding room. Seeing me working with a stone pestle, he said, a seeker of the path risks their life for the Dharma. Do they not? Then he asked, is the rice ready? I said the rice has long been ready, only waiting for the sieve. He struck the mortar 3 times with his staff and left. Understanding his intent, I went to his room at the 3rd watch of the night around midnight, using his monk's robe as a screen for privacy. He taught me the Diamond Sutra. When he reached the line, one should use the mind without attachment to anything. I instantly attained great awakening, realizing that all phenomena are inseparable from the essence of mind. I said to the Patriarch, how unexpected that the essence of mind's intrinsically pure. How unexpected that it neither arises nor ceases. How unexpected that it's intrinsically self-sufficient. How unexpected that it's intrinsically unshaken. How unexpected that it gives rise to all phenomena. Knowing I'd realized the essence of mind, the Patriarch said, one who doesn't know their own mind gains nothing from studying the Dharma. But one who knows their mind and intuitively sees their true nature is a hero, a teacher of gods and humans, a Buddha. At midnight, unknown to others, he gave me the sudden teaching, along with the robe and the begging bowl. He said, you're now the 6th Patriarch. Carefully uphold the teaching. Free all beings. Spread and preserve the Dharma. And don't let it come to an end. Hear my stanza. Sentient beings sow seeds of enlightenment. In the field of causation, they reap Buddhahood. The inanimate, lacking Buddha nature, neither sow nor reap. On Autobiography Part 5,
He went on. When Patriarch Bodhidharma first came to China, few believed him. So this robe was handed down as a symbol of trust from one patriarch to the next. But the Dharma's transmitted from heart to heart, each realizing it through their own awakening. From ancient times, Buddhas passed on the essence, and patriarchs secretly transmitted the true mind. The robe may cause disputes, so you'll be the last to inherit it. If you pass it on, your life will hang by a thread. Leave quickly or someone will harm you. I asked, where should I go? He said, stop at Wei and hide at Tui. Taking the robe and bowl at midnight, I said, being a southerner, I don't know these mountain paths and I can't find my way to the river's mouth. The Patriarch said, don't worry, I'll go with you. He took me to Zhoujiang, where he ordered me on a boat. As he started rowing, I said, please, Venerable Patriarch, sit down and let me row. He said, it's fitting that I ferry you across. An allusion to crossing the sea of birth and death to nirvana. I said, when deluded, one needs a teacher to cross. When awakened, one crosses by oneself. Though crossing is the same word, the meaning's different. Born in a borderland with imperfect speech, I'm honored to have received the Dharma from you. Now awakened, it's right I cross the sea of birth and death by realizing my own essence of mind. Indeed, indeed, he said. From you, the Chan school will flourish. 3 years after you leave, I'll pass from this world. Go now, hurry south, but don't preach too soon. The Dharma's not easily spread. After saying farewell, I traveled south and in about 2 months reached Teiyu Mountain. The assembly asked, is the master ill? He said, I'm not ill. The robe and Dharma have gone south. They asked, who's received them? He said, the able one has. And so they knew. Soon after, several hundred chased me, wanting the robe and bowl. Among them was a monk named Huineng, once a 4th-rank general named Chen, rough in manner, strong in resolve, leading the pursuers. He caught up with me. I placed the robe and bowl on a rock and said, this robe's only a symbol. What good is taking it by force? Then I hid in the bushes. When Huineng reached the rock, he tried to lift them but couldn't. He called out, lay brother, I come for the Dharma, not the robe. I came out and sat on the rock. He bowed and said, lay brother, please teach me the Dharma. I said, since you seek the Dharma, set aside all conditions and let no thought arise. Then I'll teach you. After a long pause, I said, when you think neither good nor evil at that very moment, what's your original face, venerable sir?
Chui Ming instantly awakened. He asked, beyond the esoteric words passed down by the patriarchs, are there other secret teachings? I said, what I tell you isn't secret. Turn your light inward. The secret's within you. Chui Ming said, though I studied at Huangmei, I never realized my own nature. Thanks to your guidance, I now know it. Like one drinking water knows if it's warm or cool. Lay brother, you're now my teacher. I said, if so, we're both disciples of the Fifth Patriarch at Huangmei. Uphold the teaching well. He asked, where should I go from here? I said, stop at Yuan and reside at Meng. He bowed and departed.
On Autobiography Part 6. Later, I reached Seishi, where evildoers pursued me again. I took refuge in Situi among hunters, living with them 15 years. I sometimes taught them the Dharma in ways they could understand. They had me watch their nets, but whenever I found living creatures, I let them go. At meals, I put vegetables in their meat pot. When asked, I said, I only eat the vegetables cooked with the meat. One day I thought, the time's come to spread the Dharma. I can't stay hidden forever. So I left for Baolin Temple in Guangzhou. There, Master Yinzang was lecturing on the Mahaparinirvana Sutra. One day, two monks debated if a banner moved by the wind, or if the banner itself moved. Unable to agree, I said, it's neither the wind nor banner that moves, but your minds, venerable ones. The assembly was stunned. Master Yinzang invited me to the seat of honor and asked subtle questions on the sutras. Seeing my answers were concise, precise, and beyond book knowledge, he said, lay brother, you're no ordinary person. Long ago, I heard the inheritor of the Fifth Patriarch's robe and Dharma came south. Could it be you? I humbly assented. He bowed and asked to see the robe and bowl. He showed them to the assembly. He asked, what instructions did the Fifth Patriarch give you when he transmitted the Dharma? I said, none, beyond realization of the essence of mind. He spoke neither of meditation nor liberation. Why not? He asked. I said, because those imply two paths. The Dharma is non-dual. He asked, what's the non-dual Dharma? I said, your teaching on the Mahaparinirvana Sutra says, Buddha nature is the non-dual Dharma. For instance, in the sutra, Bodhisattva Gogwe Dewang asked the Buddha, if those who commit the 4 grave offenses, the 5 deadly sins, or are ekchantikas, heretics,
would lose their goodness and Buddha nature. The Buddha said, goodness is of two kinds, eternal and non-eternal. Buddha nature's neither eternal nor non-eternal, so it isn't lost. This is called non-duality. Likewise, good and evil are dual, but Buddha nature's neither good nor evil, so it's non-dual. Ordinary people see the skandhas and dhatus as separate, but the wise see their natures non-dual. This non-dual nature is Buddha nature. Master Yenzong, delighted, joined his palms and said, my teachings like rubble, your words are like pure gold. He performed the ordination for me and asked to be my disciple. From then, under the Bodhi tree, I taught the Dongshan lineage of the 4th and 5th Patriarchs. Since receiving the Dharma at Dongshan, I've endured hardships, life often hanging by a thread. Today, meeting you all, officials, monks, nuns, Taoists, lay people, is due to our shared karma and the merit from offerings to Buddhas in past lives. Otherwise, we wouldn't hear the sudden teaching or lay the foundation to attain the Dharma. This teaching was passed on by sages of the past, not invented by me. Those who want to hear it must first purify their minds. When they hear it, they should dispel doubts, just as the sages of old did. The assembly, filled with joy, bowed and departed.